the full animated short at playoverwatch.com.
Welcome back to HGC Europe. Before the break, I said they were tied 1-1. I'm a dirty, dirty liar. Fnatic is actually up 2-0 right now. I am Trixler, and I'm with Kalaris over here on the side. What have you been thinking about the matches?
You were almost right.
I was almost right.
Yeah.
It's just one number off. Just
Yeah.
math.
2 matches.
Whatever. It's no big deal.
It's all right. Looking spiffy, by the way, today.
Thank you,
like
man.
it.
Thank you. The cantaloupe. I wanted to wear it today. I was
know.
like, Kelly. She's our makeup girl. Kelly is amazing. I was like, Kelly, find a way to make this tie work. I don't care what I have to wear. If I have to wear a T-shirt with it, we're doing it.
The answer was my shirt.
That's what it was.
That's
you
what it
make
was.
it perfect, my friend.
I've got my Finn Balor colours on today. I know you have no clue what that is, but Royal Rumble tonight, I'm hoping for a surprise return.
Wrestling. That's the true life right there. We have been hearing from you guys on Twitter, so let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying about the HGC. Here it is from Assassin22. Heroes Esports. It is a great feeling just finishing yesterday's VODs as the next day goes live. Yeah, a good point there from Assassin. If you guys want to check out the VODs, you can hit them up on our website. My favorite part of HGC is these heroic combo names that are coming out. Holy cow, for the Sanct plus Mosh is the best so far, IMO. Thank you, Kalaris. That was pretty clever, actually.
It's as if I've said it before.
It's as if you wrote it down and everything, man. We're going to steal it. You know, it's going to become a thing now. My favorite one was actually in the first year of the Tech Alpha being out. Gosh, what was it called? The Spicy Taco, which was Tyrael going for a judgment into the Falstad Hinterland Blast. That was a good one. That was great. That was my favorite.
I remembered it. So the Gillian Dread during her HGC NA was saying, what can we call the Entomb and the Fire Breath for Diablo if he ever goes Lightning Breath, I should say. And I said the Spicy Taco. I tweeted them the Spicy Taco because that makes way more sense. This
then
like
the
shape with fire than...
That's gotcha.
Silly Americans.
Well, Josh actually has an idea. Josh is our director. That's on the cards. He goes, why don't you just call that the Easy Bake Oven?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Because you literally set them up for fire. That one's awesome. I like that one too.
The Easy Bake Oven doesn't translate well with Europeans though, because we had no clue what
You're
it is.
right.
It's like an American thing, right?
Dude, I can't believe you didn't have that. That was like my childhood. I mean, they were pink and everything, but boys got them too, and I definitely baked some cakes.
Did they?
Guys, the Battlegrounds are ready to go, dude. I made some mean chocolate cakes back in the day. That's all I'm saying.
I'm done.
The Battleground that we are going to here. We have our bans already. Fnatic has banned out Battlefield of Eternity. Synergy got rid of Infernal Shrines. We played on Tombman's Spider Queen, and we also played just now on Sky Temple. Now, I do wonder, is Synergy going to pick? No, they continue to go the route of we want first pick only. We're going to Cursed Hollow for Fnatic.
I feel like they're going to be cursed at this rate. This is not... It's another great map for Fnatic.
Yeah.
And when you're going up against them, I feel in my body, in my soul...
And your left toe?
Yeah, just give them first pick.
Yeah.
Like, go to a map that you just want to just throw a spanner in the works, like that, like a Frisbee.
Well, the thing is like, statistically, the best Battleground for Synergy is actually Battlefield of Eternity, but Fnatic came in and banned it out. So maybe Synergy just, in their mind, don't have a map they can go to to be themselves.
Yeah, they almost always ban Battlefield of Eternity. Yeah. They banned it traditionally through BlizzCon. They banned it in their previous series. They're banning it here as well. So that's like something that they will always do. So find something other than that to say, ha ha ha, we gotcha.
Towers of Doom, Chromium Medivh, whole North America, man. That was fun to watch yesterday. All right, so here it is, Fnatic and Synergy, game number 3 on Cursed Hollow. Synergy will get the first ban, and then we will move into the first pick, obviously. Here. So Synergy, so far they've been banning a targeted hero per the Battleground that Fnatic plays well, and then it's picking up whatever they would like for the first pick, which has been Tychus and Ragnaros in the past. Do they continue that trend here? Falstad would be my first ban, I think, if I was going that trend.
That would be my inkling as well. Get rid of Falstad here, and then put Quacknix in a bit of an uncomfortable position if you can get Tychus on your side. They will be Falstad.
Okay. And then Fnatic will ban out Tassadar, and then we start our draft. So
it's written in every one of my drafts already, actually, just so you know.
I think I prefer Ragnaros here over the Tychus first pick that we saw, just because of how strong he is on this Battleground.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
We've seen it in the past, the poke, Sulfur Smash, the ability to finally lift us up, but they move straight into Malfurion, which is a good pickup for them, but is it really needed it against Fnatic?
All right, I'm going to write down ETC already, and then I don't know. I think taking Malfurion away from Smexy, I don't think it's necessarily need. I think his roots have been good.
Yeah.
I think his roots have been good. I think his Twilight Dream that was against the Illidan there was crippling. But he's going to end up on Rehgar or Brightwing. probably Brightwing actually on this map, depending on how the full draft goes.
Yeah.
And then he's still really good at those.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I think so. Perhaps Synergy just wants to move into Li Ming later, so they just get Malfurion for the Innervates and, of course, the poke available.
Yeah.
Because we have yet to have that. So Malfurion's probably one of the best that you could have with Malfurion.
Maybe Synergy wants Wombo. Maybe they want the roots. Maybe they want to maybe they're saying to Fnatic, you're not going to take Ragnaros through this one. Maybe they want to get Ragnaros, couple up roots with Sulfura Smash, and just trying to get some big damage that way.
There's Zeratul. And do we get the Li Ming? The Li Ming taken away. I like it from Fnatic. I wonder if that was a draft adaptation, just because I really think that Synergy wanted to go down that route here, get Li Ming in the second and third pick, and have that Malfurion combo together. So now Fnatic puts pressure on Synergy to either ban out Jaina or Diablo, both that they could still pick up later on the draft now that they have their 2 damages.
I hate when they do that, because I've had to cross out ETC now, and it looks ugly.
It looks ugly.
Yeah. Oh, you picked ETC, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, no surprises there to take it away. Greymane that early.
Okay. All right, then. So we got ETC, Greymane, and Malfurion.
Are they trying to force a Tyrael ban?
Yeah, that could be the smart choice here. You ban out Tyrael or you take him, but then suddenly you have Zeratul, Jaina, and Tyrael. You'll need another tank, which means would Brightwing work in that rotation?
Ah, Abathur, the old Greymane Abathur.
With the hat build, and you get the split push going constantly.
And that ultimate evolution on a Greymane, having 2 Greymanes in the front line, one of them with more power is scary, scary. So thinking about that ban is cool here from Fnatic. I don't think they care too much about the Tyrael because they could quite easily pick it up on their side in the next rotation if they really wanted.
Yeah, and then Abathur naturally with the split pushing that's occurring forces Zeratul not to always be there on time for the Void Prison Wombo combo setups.
And Hydra, you know, I've seen him on Abba from time to time, as he's kind of the guy who fits every role really for them. So, but they're going to go to Hacker. All right.
So Abathur and Tyrael is still up. I think it would be a little bit too much to go full Abathur Tyrael here, but it could be quite the pain in a team fight. We'll see what Synergy elects to go for. They ban out Diablo, which means Jaina is still available. The problem is Jaina and Li Ming. It's probably not a likely combination, so the Diablo pick makes a lot of sense here on that ban.
Written down mistake number 2. I almost wrote Dibbles. Damn it. I need to change that to Diablo.
Sham 2, man. Way back in the first couple months when he started playing. He got that into everyone's brains. That's his everlasting presence here on Heroes.
I've written Diblo. This is rubbish. Who's Diblo?
Only the best hero in the game.
Oh, right. Okay, let's see what they're going to do.
So if you're Fnatic, do you take Tyrael away here?
Yes. I think you do.
So the Tyrael pick is taken here. I think you can hold off on your support. There's no way they're going to take a Brightwing. I would lean in a Brightwing more and more with this composition, but they picking up now, which means their 5th pick can be a counter to whatever Synergy's going for. You can go your double tank, you can go your double support. The Lost Vikings!
Yes! Oh, I love it. We're back in Europe, boys.
This used to be, for you at home, this used to be a Europe thing back in the day where Vikings were literally first ban or first pick, way back in the day before Tacit decided to start being OP. But the Vikings bring the incredible pressure. Most look to them in the early game to get the 3 Ultra phase on phase 1, but that's not where the strength is. Their strength is that they hold lanes, but the 5th phase, when all 3 Ultra spawn, is where the Vikings become a complete torture to deal with.
You know what's great now? I bet Fnatic wish they didn't ban Dahaka.
Yeah. So true. They still have Zeratul, though, to float around and keep up pressure. They'll go ahead and like to move into Ragnaros, and Ragnaros is actually very helpful if Synergy ever does get aggressive on the map with pushing with these Vikings and Sylvanas. Ragnaros is very needed here for the wave clear. Look at their wave clear right now. It's not that great. Li Ming can do okay, Zeratul can do okay, but Ragnaros finally fits in there perfectly in that 5th slot.
So the Abathur ban kind of makes sense because, you know, there was Greymane on one side, but also because maybe they knew that Synergy wanted some kind of split soak potential on this map.
Yeah.
Forcing them into a Vikings position, that is really exciting. This is our first Vikings, I think, of all HGC.
Yeah, we haven't had it in North America. North America,
Of course you have it in North America. Don't you tease me.
Hey, Faye plays a pretty good Vikings. I'm just saying that could be a thing in the future. But yeah, KO used to be like one of the most North American Viking players back in the day, and he just doesn't play anymore, right?
Right.
But yes, this is officially the first time that we've seen the Vikings here in the HGC, and you get it here in Europe, so you're welcome and thank you. all you wonderful European players.
So whilst we're getting loaded up, for anybody who doesn't know the Vikings, anybody who might be a little bit newer to Heroes of the Storm, this is 3 heroes in one. If you're a StarCraft X guy, then you know very well about controlling multiple locations at the same time. You're flicking back and forth between some of these lanes, trying to soak as much experience as possible, and effectively allowing your team to roam as 4-man across the rest of the map.
Yeah.
Giving them some power, yes, but I think what Fnatic is going to want to do here is just fight that 4-man hard and win that fight hard.
Yeah, that's the idea behind it. Commonly, you could see the Vikings get a 1 to 2 level lead on the opposing team before hitting level 10 because they're soaking so much and you have so much pressure happening in other lanes, you're losing your turret. So you might lose a fort as well, especially with Sylvanas being here. So this is basically a form of calculated cheese that works very well on this battleground in particular because of the alter phases and where your pressure is constantly, all your resources have to deal with the pressure that's happening on all 6 fronts when it seems like that phase 5 3 alter spawn does occur. It's really scary and hard to deal with.
Yeah, and the reason, again, just kind of to elaborate for maybe newer viewers, is that why I was saying, I bet they wish they didn't ban Dahaka, is because actually Vikings have 3 main counter heroes. One is Falstad, which we saw Team Synergy ban out at the very beginning of the game. A second one can be Dahaka, which can just easily roam and try and pick off the Vikings, denying some of that soak. The final one is actually Zeratul, which they do have.
Yeah.
So we may see Zeratul split off every so often, look for kills on those Vikings, and deny some of that soaking potential from some of those lanes.
And something you have to think about, too, is Grim Task becomes a possible pickup for Zeratul, where if he kills off Zeratul, he gets awarded ability power. So he's actually getting stronger the more he picks off these Vikings.
I love the name change from that.
Yeah, from... gosh, what's it called? Gathering power into Grim Task.
It always reminds me, that like little picture of that monkey that's like trying to assassinate the guy. It's like, what is it? Assassin monkey takes no pride in his killing or something like that.
Did you just bring up these things I never watched? Monty Python
no,
and now these monkeys.
You've never seen that picture.
Oh man, never seen it. Never seen it. All right, guys, we're ready. For game number 3 here, can Fnatic cinch it with a 3-0, or will the wonderful Synergy and their wonderful strats pull off?
Maybe I'm just weird.
No, I think you're normal. I'm actually the weird guy here. Like, my life is video games, and anything outside that, I accidentally stumble upon.
My life's video games, but the internet as well. Like,
full memester here.
I'll have to somebody will tweet you the picture. Guaranteed, somebody's going to tweet you the picture. Hashtag HGC with the assassin monkey. That's.
I will take a gander at it immediately.
That's the weirdest sentence I've ever said today.
Just missed the introductions. Fnatic on the left, Synergy here on the right, and it looks like the Vikings will spread out 2 in the middle, 1 in the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, we're in Cursed Hollow. Why am I talking about Towers of Doom during that entire thing? They're insane on Towers of Doom.
It's still a good map for this.
But yes, it is still good on Cursed Hollow. I don't know where I went down the Towers of Doom route, because they are insane on Towers of Doom. But here on Cursed Hollow, they're just as great because of tributes could be picked up. The pressure that is put on the map is such a pain to deal with. So 4 in the top lane. You see Sylvanas doing Sylvanas things, just taking out the tower. Now, normally, you may miss out on some experience or you could get picked off, but the Vikings already being in lane prevents that from being a problem.
Now, well, that's a dead Viking already. When you're rounding out your composition, when you've got lost Vikings on your team, you have to think about how much disengage you have. So, looking at Team Synergy right now, are they? No. Okay, so Shrimpy's fine. And this is the mix-up. This is why we're seeing Shrimpy on Li Ming with somebody else on Zeratul. Who's on Zeratul? Is it Quacknix? Must be.
Yeah, it was Quacknix on Zeratul.
Okay, cool. When I look at the 4-man for Team Synergy, they've got Sylvanas to lock down things if they are in a position where the 4-man can just get big value. This is the Sylvanas Lost Viking synergy is actually huge because you can just do things like this with the 4-man. And now obviously Fnatic can't commit all of their resources to this. They have to still be soaking lanes. Here comes Zeratul though to try and put some, take some wind out of the sails.
Solid polymorph there from Smexy. Neon will be able to escape. Now, one thing is that Greymane is actually really good here for is that there is a dive on Sylvanas. He can pop into his Dark Flight and then put out massive damage early and make Fnatic think twice about that engage.
Now, another thing that can come along here with the Lost Vikings is if you didn't have Sylvanas in your composition, you would normally rotate as the 4, get all towers, and then go to another location, get all towers, go to another location. But because Sylvanas is here, they can actually kill off forts and take out the entire outer ring quite quickly here, can Team Synergy, if they continue this well. Here comes Quacknix, though, 4 attempts at kills. And Ragnaros went super deep down towards the bottom for a Viking, by the way.
Yeah, he's behind the forts already. And there's a kill on Zeratul, actually, as he did get picked off. And we have Wubby here. It was Ragnaros was the one that just killed off that Balog that was behind the fort. So already, Fnatic's doing a good job. They're staying up in experience, but they are starting to really deal with that pressure that comes from Synergy being here.
So whereas I said they would normally get, without Sylvanas, get towers, then rotate to another lane, they'll get fort, then rotate to another lane. And then just allow Balog up towards the top to soak that lane. And what build are we going? Okay, so kind of a usual like bribe build here for Lost Vikings, so they can just go to the easy camp, apply pressure with that very quickly, so this 4-man can just continue doing what they're doing, and the Vikings will capture camps.
And something that you can think about when you're playing the Vikings is that you can actually ignore the first couple of tributes and just push forth instead. If Synergy wanted to go that route, nice pick off there from Quacknix, as mentioned by Caleris. Here is the tribute spawning. All 4 members rotate down. The other thing that you can do is that you don't immediately go for the tribute. You wait it out. You force resources from Fnatic to move down. If they don't put more than 3 people down here, you go ahead and grab the tribute. But if they bring in 3 to 4, you let the Vikings soak, and you take that extra experience.
Molten Core delay here. And this tribute has worked out really nicely for Synergy, because now they can rival this and then start putting on good pressure on this bottom lane with the 4-man. So they naturally had to rotate down here to contest the objective. The reason I absolutely love talking about Vikings, because I love playing them. They're so different to almost everything else in the game. But poor little Eric, he's getting picked off left and right. And the level 4 keeps him alive a little bit better, actually, because his movement speed's increased. But not at the moment against that Zeratul.
Eric the Swift, man. Too fast, too furious. We do have Zeratul and Tyrael in the middle already trying to look at Olaf. So they're trying to get Viking pickoffs, which gives them that experience. There's another one, but also denies the experience to liking pickoffs. Is Lost Viking into Li Ming and Zeratul? Seems risky? Yes, I agree with that. Li Ming can be deadly to deal with it. There is a weird strategy that you kind of suicide a couple of Vikings if you're getting low on mana, and she burns so much mana that the resets actually don't matter later on. But yes, it is something that you have to worry about, is that if you lose a Viking, you give her a full reset, and there's 3 extra resets available now because of the Viking compared to the normal 5 that you would have.
Let's say Synergy naturally down here, looking to put pressure on, and they've actually taken Mule as well, not even looking to just get the cleanse off on someone. So they are really trying to play the map. They're trying to just hold their outer ring of forts here. The big problem comes when Fnatic hits 10, because right now, yes, they don't win that 5v4, but once they've got 10, they don't have huge amounts of reason to not group up at that point, and then they will force the fight on towards the 4 and probably smash them unless Synergy is in a really good retreating position.
Yeah, well, what Claris mentions there is what Fnatic is doing right now is just holding on to the game. They're trying not to fall too behind before level 10 before they hit that power spike that they get. And it's on the burden here of Synergy to push where they can. Now they see pressure on the top lane, so this indicates from Synergy, okay, we go for an aggressive push to take the fort. They are now level 9.5. Now a tribute has spawned on the top right. Zeratul and Brightwing are there. Eric can delay it if Zeratul does miss a singularity spike, but if he does not, that Hydra will definitely be dead on that character.
And that's the beautiful thing about Heroes of the Storm. It's like, yes, I've spoken about Lost Vikings almost for the entirety of this early game, but I'm nowhere near finished. That's the problem. Look at him running around like a little ring around a rosy. There we go. Eric's dead again. And Breeze towards the bottom has to be a bit careful there.
Eric did buy enough time, though, for the entire team in Synergy to rotate over. Olaf will go ahead and start grabbing this tribute.
Doing boss.
I just love how annoying Eric can be. So boss, yes, being grabbed. They have a few seconds of a window here to grab this. They're starting it up. They have Greymane who DPS's bosses quickly, but Quacknix does scatter it out.
They shouldn't be doing this, I don't think. I think what Ragnaros could potentially soak a little bit of experience towards mid, then join this fight. They're trying to delay for as long as possible so that Ragnaros can do that. Wailing arrow on towards Li Ming. She gets blown up as Power of Dream holds her in place. And that is exactly the pickoffs they needed before going back to this boss.
Yeah, great bait there. You kind of tether it a little bit, kind of float around the boss, wait for the opposing team, figure out what they're going to go for, and then you use the heroics to your advantage ASAP. It doesn't matter if you power slide and mosh pit and don't hit those teams. It's a matter of you taking the advantage that you do have and trying to make something happen with it. And it worked out. They got the Brightwing pickup, they got the Li Ming pickup, and now they will be awarded a boss.
And something that we mentioned at the very beginning of the series, and that was actually one of your keys to the game, is that Synergy need to seize the momentum of the game in the early phases. The Lost Vikings is a perfect hero for that, and that is why we're seeing some of their success in this game so far as we have play again come into for the Vikings. I'll talk about that in a moment. But still, I feel these level 10s for Fnatic are very, very powerful.
That they are. You mentioned that they're level 10 now. They have Void Prison. They can section off team fights. It's already a 5v4 to begin with. That Void Prison can make it even better for Fnatic in their engages. The Vikings are still split out. We do have Eric moving towards the third tribute, but Zeratul is already down there to help slow him down, which should indicate to Synergy that they should keep the pressure up down here in the bottom right. Hydra is going to be picked off once again by Zeratul, and that's his job the entire game here.
Yeah.
Kill Vikings, hit Void Prisons, and we win.
He is the true Viking hunter, but unfortunately for them, it's not going as well as they would like so far. Good damage on towards Power of Dreams. And
oh, that's a Furious Smash connecting with ETC, and there will be the follow-up on Malfurion. And this is where Synergy starts to fall apart if Fnatic gets those fights like that every single time.
As simple as that in terms of getting the kills. They need to find them as fast as possible. Got Sylvanas off the back of that as well. The big problem is that, yes, they're winning this fight. They're winning it hard, but they need to do something about that. They need to go over the other side and get themselves forts, catch up in experience. Ragnaros is capturing. That could be been delayed by a Viking, but Hydra's multitasking stretched across every lane right now to soak. And other than that, there is still that soak coming in from the Vikings. So
yeah, but those 4 kills just completely negated the entire lead here that Synergy had because of those Vikings in terms of experience. And that's where the game gets hard as a Viking. You start taking out the outer forts, and then from there it's like, okay, I have nothing else to soak. I have a Zeratul hunting me down the entire time. My job is not to die and get experience, but I can't do half of my job here. So there comes a point where you're going to need a couple of Vikings maybe in the fights to help draw away that Zeratul, and maybe you can sneak one to go for a push somewhere else. Because right now, Quagnix is not letting these Vikings get away with anything additional to what they got away with in the early game.
No, indeed. So I'm still curious to see how we're going to see our play again played. What happens with that is that you can activate it, and then Vikings that are dead will respawn at a certain location you've activated it, or it will just teleport all of the Vikings to that location, regardless of if they're dead or not. Now, you can use that in 2 ways. You can use it in either, I've stumbled, I've lost 1 or 2 of my Vikings, I'll just respawn them and get them back to their lanes. Or if one of them is in trouble, you can literally teleport them over the other side of the map and deny your opponent from actually killing them. The one downside is you have to spread them out again for that soak, but it's good. It's good to keep things alive, I suppose.
Yeah, and they can definitely go for that play if they ever see a moment that Zeratul's in the wrong position and just go for a keep.
Yeah, and also you can use it for flanking.
Yeah.
We've seen that a lot in the past. Even Fnatic has used it before, where you will try and find, you'll get 1 Viking close to a fight in a bush behind your opponents, then you use to play again, all 3 Vikings come in at the back, and I've seen them hurt Li Mings in bad positions. So.
Yeah, especially if we get that level 16 now, Olaf gets the ability to stun a target when he right-clicks and charges on them. So yeah, I agree, those flanks can be scary. Breeze is on Neon though. Neon will hunting wave away, but Power already low on HP, wave of force to keep him locked in. ETC just taking a beating here. Sir Ice Cream has shown up to help. There's Sanitation. There goes the Power Slide into a Saphira Smash. Sefka low on HP. Ragnaros will hit him with the big hammer. Here are the Vikings that they have used to play again, but they're not going to be able to too much. Sir Ice Cream is trying to secure a kill before he falls victim, but no, not enough in the entire team, and the Vikings are going to be wiped here for Fnatic.
And that is the perfect opportunity now for Fnatic to put themselves on the board and kill off some of these structures. I actually didn't think about it until just now I'm watching it, but Vikings against Ragnaros, split them up. Just please split them up, because they'll give Ragnaros so much health back and take so much damage from all of his AoE.
Yeah, you need to, period. First off, you have Li Ming, you have Zeratul. There's so much AoE here available for Fnatic to clear those Vikings. If you go for a play again flank, yes, I agree with Polaris. Spread out. Do not allow yourself to get focused down. Regardless of Fnatic's team fight, just too powerful here as they are continuing to push here. They're going to grab the boss in the bottom left, and now we have a tribute for both teams available.
It's the linchpin. They have to win those fights. 9 times out of 10, they're going to win the fights because their team fight is so strong compared to what we're seeing here from Synergy. And Synergy has to keep Fnatic dancing, keep them running around the map, make sure that the Vikings are soaking towards level 20 if or when we get there. Fury of the Storm becomes a thing for the Vikings. They might go checkpoint reach, but I like Fury of the Storm because you can just split the Vikings everywhere and keep those lanes really pushed. So that's an option later on.
That it is. The curse was awarded to Synergy here, and the major thing that needs to be defended is that keep in the top left, so Fnatic did grab their Giants. Eric the Swift will try and move around, but here's a Void Prison to start the fight. Breeze in the back line already. Power will be polymorphed. Here's Quacknix on the right side, but Synergy had a really good disengage, and Eric is pew-pewing away here on the keep. If he gets this is actually a big win. This is the moment that Synergy starts to get some pressure on the battleground.
Exactly. Even if Eric dies, like, Hydra right now doesn't really care if Eric dies as long as he gets that keep, and he gets it. Molten Corbin pop now, putting on pressure towards Sevka at the back. Breeze going in very far as well. Sylvanas will get blown up. Shrimpy looking for the combos!
My golly!
And that is the combos they were looking for with the Sulfuris Smash and the pop from Shrimpy. That could be a big play for not only Fort if they want to go. Where are they going? They could get Fort and then keep.
They're going boss. Going for the keep is slightly difficult at this time. You would get through the keep, but you wouldn't get to the core. They grab the boss instead to start opening up the map more. The more you open up the map against the Vikings, the better you feel. The more they have to play reserve. So while this call is relatively safe, it's still a solid call overall. They grab a boss, they keep pressure up at the top.
So yeah, we can actually take a look at that again because that was lovely. They're looking to win team fights. The blow-up potential on the side of Fnatic is beautiful. There comes the Sulfuris Smash, and that was whilst Ragnaros was still in Molten Core. That was a full-range Sulfuris Smash, and it was perfectly executed with the Li Ming combo.
Solid pickup there for Fnatic, and they are just starting to take this game away here. 18 to 16 in level, on their way to 20. Now, do remember they still have pressure on the top as that keep was taken out, but with a boss taking this fort, we just see Fnatic really just snowballing that last victory they had. They're moving to the middle lane already. All the forts will now be extinguished for Synergy, and their lead that they worked so hard to have in the early game is just falling apart here, crumbling like a cookie in the late game.
So why I was kind of explaining earlier that maybe boss wasn't the right play, I'm looking at it now a little bit more, and I'm thinking that it probably was. So it not only... It did some damage, yes. It didn't do quite as much damage for them in the middle because they were situated there, so they could have got fought and maybe done some damage towards keep, wall, and maybe keep. But it alleviates pressure from them on the top lane. They know that Synergy can't take a boss and open up the win condition straight through without a keep on that top lane. So whilst they probably could have got more damage done without going to boss, it gives them some insurance policy to make sure that they're not going to die to a boss killing them, right?
Yeah. Very true. They've been winning every single team fight. Why not take a safe approach and not ever have a window be open for the opposing team? The Vikings are trying to keep pressure up, but the Zeratul continues to hunt them down. There goes Eric taking out the top left here. Yeah, poor dude. Fnatic here working on getting towards level 20. Once they grab that, they can grab the next tribute, and this could be the game for them if they win one more team fight.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And to give you some indication as to how well the Vikings do soaking experience, closest to them is 13,000 with Brightwing, as to be expected because she's a global presence hero. But then 21,000, 22,000 soaked for those Lost Vikings. But here comes the fight once again, Trixler.
Vikings in the back right, get some aggression on. Sir Ice Cream will walk away. Baylog is taken out here at the top. A reset for Shwimpy. Brightwing has yet to phase shift in as she's dealing with the pressure on the top. The more kills that go here for Fnatic, the better, as they just hit level 20. And now they can start channeling this tribute if they would like. Play again actually used for Synergy to go back home.
And as much as the Vikings have done a good job for Synergy, they got themselves a keep, etc., Fnatic have still propelled themselves forwards because of those team fights in the experience. And also Brightwing, as that global presence experience soaker, has done a great job as well. She's still up towards the top at the moment. So these level 20s are going to be super impactful here. I don't know how Synergy holds a keep during this. They may even just lose the game off this curse.
Yeah, they could. And the slight patience there from Fnatic was because they wanted to make sure they had Molten Core available. Holy ground, power gets locked in here on the left. There goes Sanctification. Tyrael trying to body block, and that is a dead ETC. Does Fnatic pick up heroic difficulty here and just go for the win? Doesn't seem like it'll matter here. Massive Void Prison. Synergy is locked down. Neon getting poked, and there's a kill.
Heroic difficulty's in, and that is going to be a popped Malfurion on the left-hand side as well, as now Sir Ice Cream under threat, under pressure from Quacknix. But, yep, heroic difficulty was picked up, my friend, and they are just looking to power this down. Even Archon here for Li Ming, because once she's in a position where they're sieging up this core, you just beam, beam, beam all day, Shrimpy.
pure DPS, and yes, he's just burning down the core. Ragnaros will assist. Schwimpy will be cleansed here as well from Smexy, and that looks like it will be game here. Fnatic burning the core down 60 to 40%. Fnatic really going to be up here in the top 3 now, and unfortunately Synergy will lose and go down 1-2 overall in the HGC. But congratulations to Fnatic taking the overall series 3-0 against Synergy.
Very well executed and very good response from Team Fnatic. It's not like they're unfamiliar with playing against Vikings. Again, it used to be an absolute mainstay in the European scene. We focused a lot on the Vikings because we're not going to get to see it that much here in Europe, but it's nice to kind of give you as much information as possible as to how that plays out, because it's a very different situation compared to other games, and
yeah,
they're such a big part of how that game plays out.
And it really comes down to the 4-man rotation. You have to make sure that you're not dying off in that 4-man rotation. You have to have escapes available. And they did have the escapes available. They had knockback from HGC. They had their own power slide. They had Sylvanas with their haunting wave. Greymane, for the most part, can sit on the outskirts and just kind of poke down in an auto attack form. But the deaths just hurt too much. And when we got to the mid game, Fnatic was just too far ahead, because once you're even, you're ahead against that comp.
If you're going to do that as Team Synergy, I mean, my personal preference is they banned out Falstad first. If you're going to do that, you know your 4-man is going to be very weak against the 5-man of your opponents. Don't ban Falstad. Your first pick, ban something else, get Falstad on your side, and use Gust as a good disengage to just keep running around the map forever and ever. It's better than Malfurion for the disengage by far, but you don't have the healer that you particularly want, because you know that Fnatic's going to take it. So it's even.
All right, well, we actually have Quacknix on the phone. Quacknix, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
How are you, my friend? You just won here against Synergy 3-0. Difficult for you guys, or what are you thinking on that matchup?
Not really, but, you know, we should always be humble and never, disrespect anybody, so... But it went as expected, pretty much.
Okay, awesome. Was the Vikings pick in the third game a bit of a throw-off for you guys, or were you expecting something crazy to happen anyways?
I mean, we were kind of expecting something, but we were thinking more about the Avatar pick, and that's why we left our last pick to be prepared with the Sylvanas pick. But yeah, when they picked the Viking, we got a bit shocked. But yeah, we kind of, even though we haven't played versus it in a very long time, we kind of know how to deal with the situation. As long as we don't fall too far behind early game, we're fine.
Awesome, good to hear. Do you have any questions, Caloris?
I'm trying to think.
Well, I have one set up. Again, we know that you go up 2-1, so congratulations on that. But obviously, your first loss of the season was to the Misfits. You will face them later on down the road. Are you guys looking to get redemption there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we could have even won last time, but yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about that. They showed us the stronger team that they.
I suppose I have a question about some of the other teams in the field, particularly Team Expert. How do you guys see Team Expert in the current league at the moment? Because you guys are definitely one of the big 3, no doubt, probably looking for that top 2 finish alongside Misfits. But are Expert on your radar? Are they definitely a concern for you guys down the line?
Yeah, of course. I mean, even before the league started, I said they would be the team to contest the big 3, so no surprise there really. But like how scrims and everything is going, we're not that scared. But obviously, they are that team that could potentially take us down. So once again, no disrespect. If we do our thing, we're probably gonna win. But they are strong.
Well, we continue to ask you about your matchups, but your next official one will be against B Genius. I want to hear it from you, man. What's the score going to be for Fnatic?
This is good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
What's the score going to be against B Genius? What are you guys going to walk away with?
Probably a 3-0. Once again, if we get our things and we're prepared so we don't get cheesed, I think we will walk away with the 3-0.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's great to hear from you. Please give us a shout-out before we let you go.
Again?
Shout-outs.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, again.
I can't even argue with him on that flavor. It's really good. So.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to give a proper shout out this time. So, yeah, to all our sponsors and especially all our fans. So thank you so much for cheering for us.
Awesome. Thank you for the great games, Quacknix. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next time. Now, of course, we just watched that matchup. Fnatic walks away with a wonderful 3-0. Caloris, do you have any crazy thoughts after that matchup?
No, other than the fact that it's nice to see Fnatic come and be in a position where they come in as the big favorite. People look at them to dominate. They do dominate, even with that little bit of a wrench thrown in the works towards the very end. So good, impressive play.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to see those guys that you look up to still being so dominant. It gives you so much to work for. Synergy, of course, showed up, but just couldn't quite do it. So standings are now updated. Let's see where our teams reside after Fnatic's match here as they score that win. Still at the top, you will have the Misfits. Expert will be the next team that we will watch, but now we have Dignitas and Fnatic, our top 4, starting to shape up here. I think a lot would agree this is what we expected going into the HGC. Expert, though, being the one that's kind of jumping out for us. Synergy playing Dux, B Genius, and Trick Esport will round out the bottom 4 for our teams. Synergy, man, you've got some clever ideas. You've got some clever drafts. Just need a little bit more oomph from these guys, and they could be pretty deadly.
Yeah, I mean, even that last draft alone against a lesser team than Fnatic could have been deadly, as you're mentioning here. So I wouldn't mind seeing those kinds of things again for them. Just kind of throw those little bit crazier ideas out there, and they had the building blocks, but not exactly the full house.
Yeah, and something for us to consider too is we see who the top 4 is right now, but only 3 of them go to the Western Clash. So these next 3 weeks start to get really spicy for us as we find out our matchups, how our teams will be moving into those slots, and also we want to see who can actually score the top scores to actually go to the Western Clash, because only 3 will be going. So I'm pretty excited for all of that to shape out. Here is the schedule for the rest of the day, so you guys get an idea of what to watch for. If you have any particular team that you are cheering for, here they are. Team Expert and B Genius will be at 11:30 a.m. PST, 8:30 p.m. CET. Myself and Caleris will cover that for you, and we'll get you up on all the information occurring for that game. Later on, North America will hit Gale Force Esports taking on Team Freedom, and Team 8 and Superstars facing off. And Team 8 slowly, as a North American player, has started to really jump out for me, man. That is a team that is doing well.
Are they still top?
I still think they're up in the standings, yeah.
Yeah, definitely up there. It's impressive to see.
Yeah, it really is. They've definitely turned it around. See if they can continue that with Superstars. We'll be right back with the next matchup as soon as we can.